Welcome to Brew Bills, your place for DIY home improvements. I'm Paul. Man, is it hot up here, but it's even hotter beneath where I'm standing. So I'm going to install a small roof vent and see if it'll cool down the area above our garage. You ready? Let's do this. The other day I went up into the attic space above our garage and it was really hot up there. Then I realized because of a wall there's no way for the air to escape that area. So I did some shopping. I ended up purchasing a roof vent off of Amazon. I'm going to install it and see if it will help cool down this area.
Tools and items needed: a roof vent, a tape measure, a utility knife, a screw gun drill driver, some wood drills, a sawzall, a hammer, a Wonder Bar, gloves, and your personal safety gear. We do have an exhaust fan in the attic above the house, but as I mentioned, there is a wall that separates the garage and the attic, so there's no way for the hot air above the garage to get to this fan. So I'm going to make a couple of measurements and then go back down in the attic and drill a couple of holes, and then I'll come back up here and cut out the hole for the vent. On the Brew scale, technical ability I rate as a novice. You just need to know how to use a tape measure, drill, and saw. Physical ability I rate as difficult, mostly because it can be very hot in the attic and on the roof. Looking at the roofing material, I want the center of the vent to be between 14 and 19 inches. Because of the wall, I can't measure from the ridge inside the attic, so I'll measure off the heat or exhaust vent to help me get the new vent in the correct spot. The center is at 21 inches. Before cutting the hole in the roof, I want to record some temperatures. That way I can check the temps after to see if the vent made a difference. So outside the front door we have 85.8 degrees. This is the space above the garage. I'll just stick it right here and give it a few minutes to adjust. There are a lot of articles and videos about attic spaces and what you can do to them to make them more efficient and cooler. For years, attics were built with vents to help prevent moisture from building up inside of them, but those vents really weren't enough to keep them from getting extremely hot. Now builders are starting to build houses with sealed attic spaces, making the HVAC system much more efficient and saving energy when cooling or heating a house. Some of the things you can do to an attic space are add in some spray foam, a radiant barrier, you can add a ridge vent, a whole house fan, more insulation. I may do some of those someday, but for now, I just want to make a way for the hot air to escape out of the garage. Oh wow, 113.9 degrees. I say yeah, it's a bit warm up here. This vent is made by Snow Vent Co., but I don't think I'll ever need to worry about having snow on my roof. What led us to this one first was price, second was a low profile, third, it's already the color of our roof, so I won't need to paint it. Fourth, did I mention the price and shipping directly to the house? I also measured the temperature in the garage, which is 88.5, so we had 85.8 outside the front door and 113.9 above the garage. The hole for the vent needs to be about 8 inches tall and 8.5 inches wide. The directions say a 7.25 inch hole, which seems too small, so I'm going to make it closer to 8 inches. You want the vent to be as high as possible in an attic space. I don't think I want it above the door, so I'll move it over above the light. This is the water heater vent that I measured on top of the roof, so the roof ridge will be about 10 inches past this wall, which means the center of the vent should be between 4 and 9 inches. So if I put the center around 8 inches, then the bottom of the hole will be at the end of the 1x6. That should work. I have the spot marked for the center point. I'll drill a 3/8 inch hole up through the wood and roofing material. Yep, I see sunlight. I'm checking to see where the hole ended up in the roof before continuing. Ideally, the center of the vent should be at the bottom of a roofing shingle row. It will tuck under the shingles above it and then rest on the shingles below it. This spot should work. I'll make a few more guide holes based off their center hole. I'll use a 3/4 inch wood bit this time so I can get a saw blade into the holes. Not easy to do using a wood speed bit and trying to hold a camera. You can see the bottom hole that I drilled. The other 3 are hidden under the shingles. I'll use a utility knife and cut the asphalt shingles, removing the material all the way down to the wood. I was a bit cautious with the drill because I didn't want to tear up any of the shingles. Now I could take a saw and cut out the wood using the holes I drilled as a guide. There's a hole in my roof.
Hit that like button and subscribe to Brew Build. Hit that like button and subscribe to Brew Build.
The new roof vent will go under this layer and rest on top of the layer below. Use a drywall knife to slice under each layer of shingles. There may be some nails that will need to be removed, and this will also separate the shingle layers from each other. Here is one of the roofing nails that I need to remove. A Wonder Bar works great for this. Any nail that is within the flashing area of the new vent will need to be removed. Put them someplace safe so you can reuse them for the new vent. I need to cut back more of the roofing shingles. Looks about 1 inch. I will need to add a few nails at the bottom and probably one on each side to hold the vent down as well as the shingles. But I want to check to see what it looks like below before I pound the nails in. Looks like it can move up another inch, so I'll go back up and trim some more of the roofing material, then nail it in. Okay, that should be it. I'll take some temperature readings tomorrow around the same time of the day to see if this made any difference. I am back and it's 90 degrees outside the front door, so 4 to 5 degrees hotter than it was yesterday. Up in the garage we are at 112.6, so only about 1 degree cooler, but it is hotter outside. Down in the garage we are 85.6 degrees, which is about 3 degrees cooler than yesterday. So that's kind of an 8-degree temperature difference. Well, the vent did make a slight difference in the temperature. I know this wasn't a very precise test. I did try to leave the gauge in the area the same amount of time before taking the reading. I think seeing that the garage was actually cooler while the outside temperature was actually hotter is a good sign that this vent is doing its job. Now, if you ever need to clean out a sewer line, check out this video here. If you want to tackle a bigger job, check out my backyard makeover project. I really think this attic space would benefit greatly from a radiant barrier, but who wants to work in the attic in the summertime? Might be a future project.